Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Jules Leyhe. In today's video, I'm going to address a question that my good student Antar recently gave me. Antar was curious if there's sort of another cage system but for slide guitar. And yes, there absolutely is. But what I would do to get the whole thing kind of under your belt, under your fingers, is to start kind of small and start with some position-based chords, getting comfortable with those first. There are triads and things all across the neck and different inversions, just like there would be in standard tuned guitar. So the short answer to your question, Antar, is yes. But I want to go over just some of these sort of position-based, like let's walk before we can run, before we sprint here. So I'm going to go to the key of C, which in open E tuning would be at the 8th fret. And one cool thing about the tuning and about this whole thing in general right now is that I'm going to be fretting behind the slide to alter these chords so that I don't just have a major triad, okay? My first one that I'd encourage you guys to do is, and I'm going to throw a low C note down here just so that you can hear, if I lower my 4th string by 1/2 step, I get a C major 7. Now if I lower it one more 1/2 step, so this is fretting on the 4th string. And what happens when you fret, if you haven't done this before, when you actually fret a note with any of these other fingers, I'd encourage you to use your index. The fretted note actually goes beneath the slide. So if you have kind of a soft touch, you can actually play notes that are behind the slide and get things other than just your major triad up here, okay? So this is a great little, this happens in a gazillion tunes, this little line cliche from the root down to the flat 7. So by just putting our index finger back behind the slide on both of these strings, we can do different voicings. And we have these awesome chords available to us that we might want to throw in a song. Now, one of the cool things, as I just mentioned a second ago, is that if you do this now, not on the 4th string, but up on the high E string, you can make it sound differently, and that might be more of like the melody that you hear. So let me demonstrate that for you. That would be like this. Right? So that's super cool. Now we have a major 7 and a dominant 7 shape just by altering these 4th or 1st string notes by 1 or 2 frets, right? So that's a great way to start. Now, another thing that I really love is you can make this, we're in open E tuning, right? Here's our C chord at the 8th fret. Well, what if we're in C minor? You can turn that major 3rd string, our E natural, into an E flat here by fretting one note behind. That would be the 7th fret of the 3rd string. Now, in this open E tuning, we can play minor chords with pretty great ease. It's not too tough to do that, either with the slide, or you can just fret those notes. I would fret middle finger on the 4th string, index finger on the 3rd string, and then if you can, bar the top 2 strings with your ring finger. But now we can do things like this. Check this out. So all I'm doing there, I'm basically playing C, B flat, A flat, G. I'm just making sure the C is minor. This is a cool little, it sounds kind of more impressive and difficult than it actually is. But I was kind of whizzing through it so that you guys could hear, the effect that just altering one note has. I'm just fretting one note. And then the rest are all played with the slide. Now I can get out of that, everything sounds major and all I have are these couple of licks in one place kind of way of playing, right? So that's just by altering your third string by one note, fretting behind the slide there, or just fretting your chord with your fingers, right? Now another really cool one that I love on that string is, so I'm back at the 8th fret here. Here's my C major chord. If I fret the 6th fret on the 3rd string, I get the root, 9, and then 5. If I release that note, this is a really cool technique. I think of this as like a reverse hammer-on. You're pulling off with your index finger, but what it's going to do is it's actually going to pull the note off of the fret and up into the slide. So it sounds like this. Now, I'm doing this without a volume pedal right now. If you know any of my other videos, I'm kind of crazy about the volume pedal. I'm not using it right now on purpose because not everybody has one, and this kind of only gets cooler if you add the volume pedal in. This is a very sort of pedal steel-like effect. Now, you can do this on the other strings as well. You could go flat 7 to root. You can also go 4 to 5 up on that 2nd string. All I did was that same concept, that same idea, 2 frets behind each note that the slide was fretting. Okay, or was playing at. I wasn't fretting with the slide. You can't fret behind the slide if you're fretting with the slide, because then the fret is calling the shots, and that's where the notes end, right? So that's another one, is this, we've got this minor third here, or if we have the 9 right behind it, it's really cool to do that sort of pedal steel style. That sort of lick, right? Now, so we've got a major 7, we have a dominant 7, we have a minor chord, we have that sort of sus 9 thing. This is another really great one, and you just heard me kind of do it a moment ago, but if you do this 2 frets behind on the B string, now we get the 4th and the 3rd, so they're a half step apart, hence the beats, right? Now that's a tense sound, and I really like it, but you might want to do that same hammer-on thing, or reverse hammer-on that is, up into the 5th, like this. So that's 2 frets away. Now what happens if we bring it up and we do that at the 7th fret? Now we get the Lydian sound, right? We're raising our 4th degree and we get this sound. So this is like the intro to The Simpsons. That's that chord. And I'm just altering the triad right now, right? So you can make this more, I'm trying to just alter the triad so that you guys have that to go off of. You can totally include other notes in the tuning, but I'm just trying to limit it to, just 3 notes so you can see, wow, okay, if I add other strings or anything in here, I've got a lot of exploring with this concept to do, okay? So now let me apply these really quickly. I want to show you guys, this is a great way that you might actually use this. So this is a very cool chord progression that is in a million tunes, but I just want to show you with just this couple of voicings, how much mileage there is. So I'm going to go C to D7 to F, and then I'm going to make it F minor, and I'm going to go back to C. And this ought to remind you of just a number of different tunes. This is a pretty common chord progression. But check this out. Here we go. So C, D7, up to F, to F minor, back to C. So you might want to do that something like this. Right? So that's a really hip way of using these chords in context and doing something other than just 12-bar blues. We can now actually play tunes. And if you have a chord chart or something, this is how you get out of just playing the same old licks in your open E tuned guitar. You can now do some fretting. There's, 7th chord harmony in here. So that does it for this lesson. But I hope that this is sort of a springboard for you guys to start playing your open E tuned slide guitar over normal tunes. And just kind of get out of, I have this guitar for that song, and I only play this one when I play Statesboro Blues. Or that's not exactly the goal when it comes to having your open E tuned slide guitar. You want to be able to do it all on one guitar as much as possible. So Antar, thank you so much for that question, because it really did inspire me, in teaching this. And I just hope that this sort of turns on some light bulbs for you guys out there. If you have not already, please subscribe to the channel. And if you have not checked out my Derek Trucks Masterclass course, I would love it if you guys could check that out. Everybody who's been getting the course just loves it. They've been learning a whole lot. And every purchase of that course really helps fuel my YouTube channel, keeps the lights on over here. So thank you guys so much for checking today's video out. I'll catch you in the next one. Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Jules Leyhe. I'm thrilled to announce that my Derek Trucks Slide Guitar Masterclass is now available. This class is over 2 hours of in-depth study of Derek Trucks' greatest licks, his signature sounds. Everything that you're going to learn in this course is designed to make you a better player and ultimately make you sound more like yourself. I'm a Berklee College of Music graduate and a professional musician of the last 15 years. I've shared the stage with Buddy Guy, Jimmy Vaughn, Chris Kane, and a slew of other blues greats. They've taken me under their wing and have taught me so many things that I want to now share with you guys. Check the link in my bio or JulesLeyhemusic.com to get your Derek Trucks Slide Guitar Masterclass today.